As a solopreneur, you get to wear multiple hats and play a variety of roles in your business, but you don't necessarily need to enjoy each of those roles that you have. So the easier you make it for yourself in terms of managing the different types of tasks, the more time you can spend on doing what you truly love and what got you into this journey in the first place, creating beautiful visual content. Research shows that being organized not only increases productivity, but also performance, which naturally results in a greater sense of control and better stress resilience. The more efficient you are, the happier your client, and a happy client is the one that is more likely to work with you again in the future. It's also easier to retain a client than win a new one. That is why having tools that can help manage different tasks in your business is so important. Not to mention that it's just great to work smarter and not harder. In this video, I want to share with you my 5 favorite tools that help me manage my photography business. I grouped them based on the different aspects of business tasks. So let's jump right into it. Number 1, project management. This is where I get super geeky. When I worked in the corporate world, my co-workers had a nickname for me, and they used to call me the checklist person. And yes, you guessed it right, I had my daily to-do checklist that I carried around with me in my notepad. When I left the firm and opened up my own business, one of the first things that I did was find a great and a free tool that could help me manage all of my tasks easily in one place. I heavily rely on Asana to do that. I love the calendar view option, which helps me visualize all the tasks. And I enjoy the fact that if my clients are also on Asana, I can have both my personal projects and my client projects in one place. It happens sometimes. But there's a caveat as to how I've come to use Asana with time. It's been almost 4 years since I went full-time with my own business, and I relied on Asana throughout this entire time. But lately I found that the free version is beginning to lack the freedom of editing the different projects exactly how I want them to be. And in the majority of cases, it's not a problem. I usually don't need robust sprint status graphs, usually. But sometimes a more info-packed table is something that would be useful, which leads me to my next point. Number 2, pitching. We all love pitching, right? Some people even record podcasts on that, like this one. But today in this video, I wanted to tell you about pitching in the context of project management. When you start running your creative business full time, you quickly find that there are multiple types of desired client projects that you want to add and numerous clients that you want to pitch to in different ways. Either cold pitch with a simple email or create a project that showcases a product or work on a location, like a restaurant or a hotel, and create work from there. So in order to keep track of all of these things and to make sure that I have all these ideas written down, I created my Notion board. Notion comes with a much greater freedom when it comes to editing your projects. You can virtually do anything you want. So in my Notion target client list, I have all of my desired clients. And this is where I keep track of whether I just want to cold pitch a brand or perhaps buy their product and create a photo shoot to later get the brand involved in it. I use the board to write down all of the information I do during the research process. So company website, social media links, my notes on their photography style, whether I've met them in person or engaged with them on social media and things like that. I also put down my last contact date so that whenever I get back to pitching, I know what to do next. Because this is also another thing. I think oftentimes as solopreneurs, we're told that you need to constantly be pitching, and it's just not feasible. Not when you're the only person behind the scenes running this entire business. There will be times when you pitch more regularly and intensely, and there will be weeks and sometimes even months when you're so occupied with other client projects or just life when you don't pitch at all. And that's when it's great to have a handy spreadsheet or a project board with all the information and notes close by. I've already mentioned it here in this video before, but multiple data sources show that it is 5 times more expensive to win a new client than retain an existing one.
It is 10 times more expensive to sign a new customer.
Okay, yes, it was a trick question.
Yes,
okay.
look.
Just think about the amount of time and energy you need to dedicate to deciding on the kinds of clients you want to work with, finding the right contact within the brand, scouting their email address, sending them the right pitch, following up with the pitch, going on a discovery call, creating a fee estimate, agreeing on the scope details. And it's only after you've done all of that and both you and the client are happy with all the details, you can go ahead and sign them. Multiply this by a number of potential clients that you do it for, and there's a big chunk of time investment that directly translates into your money that goes into this process. I'm a huge believer in the saying, under promise, over deliver. And following this rule is one of the best ways to retain a client, which means saving yourself time that you would have to spend on pitching. Now, this isn't to say that you shouldn't be pitching, because there will always be exciting new opportunities that you will definitely want to be open to. But you should rather be pitching to clients that you really want to work with and not just anyone. So by making sure that your client experience is exceptional, you can build a portfolio of regular clients and save a lot of money and time that you didn't spend on pitching. Perhaps in time, those regular clients will recommend you to their industry friend who will reach out with an inquiry about the possibility of working together. So how can you make your client process outstanding? And this leads me to the next 2 points. Number 3, client treatments. So essentially all the documents that you will be sending to your client throughout the process of working with them. These documents will include fee estimates, FAQ document with an overview of your services and how you work, a client contract, an invoice, a client goodbye packet. Now, there are 2 things here that I believe are super important. And the first thing is that having a set of cohesive templates across all majority of these documents is really making a huge difference in how the client experience is working with you. If all the documents are using the same font, your brand colors, and a design that corresponds with your brand values, you are just going to look so much more professional. As a result, your client's experience is likely to be better and they are more likely to work with you in the future. And of course, documents are just one aspect of how they find working with you, but it's a good starting point. And the second thing is that when you're a photographer, you don't have to know how to attractively design documents, and you're not meant to waste your precious time on creating a new fee estimate each time a prospective client comes your way. That's where templates come in handy. So you can either work with a graphic designer to help you create these templates, or if you're on a tight budget, you can find a set of pre-made templates that graphic designers sell online. I don't sell them yet. Of course, they won't be as unique to your brand and as bespoke as templates made for you, but you can find some amazing stuff out there and update them with all of your branding. And this is what I did almost 3 years ago now. And I've been using these templates on repeat, just amending them according to my needs. My favorite platform for finding graphic design templates is Creative Market, but I also sometimes look for these things on Etsy too. I'm sure you know them, but just in case, I'm linking both places below in the video description for you. Number 4, project deliverables. In line with my under promise, over deliver mantra, I like making it as easy as I can for the client when it comes to getting and downloading the final images. I send them a selection of images as a pixie set gallery because it gives them the possibility of selecting additional images if they want to and quickly give me feedback as well. I then deliver the ready files using WeTransfer. I like using it because it's easy to handle and it sends me a confirmation email when my client downloads the files. And number 5, file and backup management. There's a reason why I left this as the last tool, and I know that just the very name sounds dreadful, but I promise it's not as bad as it sounds, and there's no need for you to switch off the video right now. File backups is usually the most daunting nightmare for so many of us who run one-person businesses. For a long time, I had a process in place where every 6 months or so, I would go into my business files that I was storing locally and back it up into 2 separate drives. And by files, I mean photos, contracts, tax documents, fee estimates, anything that I might need in the future and that if I lose, I would be in serious trouble. And the process was fine. I had a regular backup, but it meant having to spend a lot of time on doing it and actually remembering to do it. At the beginning of last year, we invested in a home NAS device. Now, I know that file backups and storage systems make creatives go, "Rah!" And you're probably feeling just as overwhelmed as I was when I first heard of it. I am very lucky because my husband is a software engineer and is very tech savvy. And he's the person who's actually introduced me to this solution. So now I just want to share the love. A NAS device is essentially an abbreviation for Network Attached Storage. And it's a little box that's connected via cable to your internet router. Over here, we're using a device by Synology. I am going to leave the name and the serial number in the video description for you as well. We have 2 separate disks and you can access them from multiple devices by your local network or even internet. And this is super useful because you can work on a file on, say, a Mac computer and then easily access it from a Windows PC. However, The biggest magic is when it comes to backup. A moment ago, I said we have 2 disks, but only one of them is being used to save files. And this is because the other one is used to create an identical backup of your files real time, which means you automatically have a backup of all your work in case one of the disks fails. So you save time on backups and file management. And all you need to do is every now and then go into your files to clean them up. And even if you don't do it regularly, the disk's capacity is massive. So you'll be fine with the amount of storage for quite some time, or maybe until you start making videos in 4K. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you found something useful for yourself in my work streams. And please don't forget to subscribe and leave me a thumbs up and let me know if you've enjoyed the video. Until next time.